persuasive kind of writing normally?
In school,
I mean, in school, for what purpose do you find this persuasive writing?
because that's the type of essays we write.
No, no, not that. I'm not talking about what it's that kind of essays you write at school. I'm asking about where do you normally find this persuasive writing? Normally.
An advertisement.
Ah, very good. It's normally seen in advertisements. Yeah. Okay, now just mute. Okay. Now let's get into the detail and understand the way of writing. What is a format that ought to be followed while writing the persuasive? This. Persuasive writing is writing that tries to convince a reader to do something or to believe what you believe about a certain topic. It's trying to talk them into giving themselves up about it. It takes a position for or against something. More than that, you force someone. It's not a physical force, but it is a kind of verbal force. You try to convince the other person that, in a way, we can say that you try to overcome a person through your opinion, or you try to influence the person, try to make him come into your way. So that is persuasive writing, and that actually requires a skill, and it really follows a format too. It is quite different from our descriptive essays. Persuasive is really it's different from the contrast or the narrative type or personal narrative or fiction or whatever it is. That the form of writing is entirely different. Now let's find out this. Persuasive writing can be used to support a cause, urge people to action, make a change, prove something wrong. Uh, I think, did you listen to a kind of, I think a kind of advertisement only that they give for urging people to vaccinate in India? Maybe no, right? This vaccination advertisement is mostly given in Hindi language only. So in that, they are trying to influence people. They are trying to. So every time you make a call, you have to listen to this, and this is like urging people uh, to go for vaccination. But here the story is really different. There are so many people who are ready to get vaccinated, but vaccination is not available. But in spite of all that, every time you make a call to a person, you can listen. You have to listen to this, urging a persuasive, attempt to urging people to go for vaccination. So that is also persuasion. Urge people to action, make a change. The principal should let us wear hats. Okay, prove something wrong. Cell phones don't cause brain cancer. So this persuasive writing can be used for all these purposes. Do you have any doubt on this?
Kids should be able to chew gum in school.
What is it? I did not get you, my dear.
Kids should be able to chew gum in school.
Um, Urge people to action, make a change, prove something wrong. And now, here again, persuasive writing can be used to stir up sympathy. If you don't adopt this dog, it could have to live in a shelter. So that is a kind of sympathy. Create interest, better grades get you a better job and more money. Get people to agree with you. I'm sure you will agree that Milky Way is the best candy bar. So this is actually used in advertisement, right? Get people to agree with you. That is advertisements. So it is not only one purpose. You can see the purpose of persuasive writing is plenty now. It can support a cause. It can urge people to action. It can make a change, prove something wrong, and again stir up sympathy, create interest, get people to agree with you. So all these are the purposes that is served by the persuasive writing. Okay. Now, let's have a, keen focus on the format followed in the persuasive writing. The first what we have discussed now is the purpose of persuasive writing. Why do we do that? And you were talking about advertisement. Now you can see that advertisement is one among almost 8 or 9 functions of persuasive writing. Now let's find out the format of it. Introduction with a hook and thesis statement is very important in persuasive writing. It is that interest must be created in the reader. Introduction with a hook and thesis statement. This is something that we have done yesterday in the narratives as well, as you remember. Okay, the thesis statement and the hook was there in the narrative introduction too. The same is followed here as well. Body, but we don't have introduction of characters, we don't have the introduction of setting. All that is not required in persuasive writing, but we require the other two. The hook and thesis statement ought to be there in the introduction of the persuasive writing format. The second one is body, where the argument is explained. Now, the conclusion, where the main points are summarized and reviewed, and the reader is left with something to think about. Okay, so this is the format that you have to follow. So, the body with the argument must be there, and the conclusion, where the main point that you have discussed so far ought to be summarized, and the reader is left with something to think about. Of course, it should be in your, in your favor, that there lies the skill of the writer, because as it is a persuasive writing task. First, know your audience. Everywhere, this is very important. As I told you yesterday, when you are writing the narrative piece of writing, also your audience is very important. You must keep in mind who is going to read this. Before you start writing, you should know your audience. Who will read your writing? Who do you need to convince? Convincing is very important nature of persuasive writing. That is very, I think, a distinctive feature of persuasive writing is make people convince. The audience may be your friends, your teacher, your parents, your principal, the readers of the newspaper, or the president of the United States, maybe. Will you be graded on what? Should you be casual or professional? All this you have to think about. Okay. Now, second, pick a side. The writer must clearly state his position and stay with that position. Pick a side. Generally, the position is stated in the opening paragraph or introduction. This is your opinion sentence. As I said in the introduction, your thesis statement ought to be reflected. Do your research. In order to convince a reader, you need more than just an opinion. Just by telling people that, you see, what should I say, that chocolate is the best, Kinder is the best. You say, okay, you are a normal person. You are saying Kinder is the best. How many people will be carried by your opinion? On the other hand, maybe, advertisement, they make this do by a popular figure. So of course, sometimes people will be carried by them. By maybe they will be influenced by this personality. But in case if you are a normal person, it's not just enough that you state your opinion. You must have your reasons for that. You need facts. It's not just reason. Okay, Kinder is the best. Why? Because it's so nice. If you say it is not enough, you need facts or examples to back your opinion. So be sure to do the research. Are you
Can I
listening?
use the bathroom?
You write, you make a plan, then write. Here they have showed you a 6 paragraph. I think that is too much. At least you can go for make it five. That is okay. Okay, don't go for 3 argument, and the 2 argument is maximum. I think so. Okay, introduction, hook, thesis, that is very important. You have argument one with support. You should provide the facts. Argument two with support. Three is not required actually. And show this is very important. One paragraph ought to be for the counter argument and make an argument against it. And then you have the conclusion.
I know the writing process for persuasive essay already.
You know the persuasive writing essay. This, no, then just
Yes,
refresh
we've
it.
been doing it since middle school.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. Now, do's and don'ts of persuasive writing. Here there are, see what we have all, whatever we have, the title is important. All what we have discussed here is written in the do's. Okay, other than the last one, come up with a catchy title. That is very important. Now, here don'ts is don't begin with hello, my name is I'm going to. Okay, don't do that. Don't use the word I. Instead of I think we shouldn't wear uniform, say uniform shouldn't be required. So don't use that that narrative technique should not be adopted in persuasive writing. Don't forget to support your opinions with facts and examples. Okay, whatever facts that you say, I mean whatever opinion that you say, it should be supported with facts and examples. That is very important. So these are the do's and don'ts of persuasive essay. Okay, this we need not go into. Um, I mean, these are the ways in which you can create hooks. It can be an anecdote or a scenario, a quotation, an interesting fact or statistic, a question. A question is also, I said, no, rhetorical questions are the best way to grab the attention of the readers. It tells how the writing will be organized. The author's position is clearly stated in the thesis statement. Okay. Now, this one, see, use an anecdote or scenario. That means he provides a personal experience or made up situation to introduce the position. Questioning, interesting fact. Okay, fine. Then you could start with a riddle also. I don't know how far that will work out. You could begin with a strong statement. Fast food consumption as 60%, but there must be some figures here. Okay, when you go for that, you could open with a quotation. That is another way of
Can I do a persuasive essay because I know the
okay,
um
but I'll give you a question, my dear. I'll just go make you go through this so that you will follow the format and how many times. Okay, this is the rhetorical question example. That is correct way to. Just go through this. Read it slowly, okay? A catchy title is there, hook is there, a thesis statement is there, okay? Please go through that.
I'm done reading it.
Okay, fine. See how it should be divided. One paragraph on how fast food increases weight, one paragraph on how it causes blood pressure, one on how it leads to sluggishness. Okay, so three paragraph is something that they stress on. You will just see the concluding paragraph. You just go through the concluding paragraph as well. You have to, in all the essays, you can see that you have to reinstate your thesis statement in the concluding part. That's very important. See this one, you can end. The three options are there: a comment, a question, a call to action. Whichever you feel you can. Make sure to read over your work and edit. Okay, write neatly. That is not very important. That you do every time. Please give this very important. I mean, this is very important. A catchy title must be there. Introductory paragraph with hook, three main arguments, and a thesis statement. Please don't forget that. One paragraph for each of your three arguments. Don't forget it. Address the counter argument. It should be seen. The counter argument should be seen. Closing paragraph that restates your thesis and challenges the reader to think about it. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
So this are all will be there in your essay, right?
Yes,
Okay, let me see. I'll stop sharing. Hello, can you hear me?
mute. In
Okay.
fact,
In fact,
could argue that going to school in person is, in fact, is a far better choice than keeping kids at home. In talking from experience, I agree with it. I forgot
That
to
is
take out that. That I agree with it.
so that much is the introduction, right?
Yes, I
Okay.
didn't keep my introduction long.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Okay. Let's start off with the basics. There's a funny joke that's one of my good. Clever spelling.
CLEVER.
But you check the spelling there. That's a good joke. There's a time yesterday I told you about the apostrophes. Please make sure that you don't miss it out. There is a time that apostrophe is missing, right?
Oh, I didn't
Ah,
see the apostrophe was missing. I was pretty sure I put it.
no, the here. See, the moral of the joke is there is a time. There is apostrophe there.
Oh, yeah, I thought I put it there.
No, and clever spelling also. Okay, you know the spelling. Then why should you have an extra a over there? It's cool though. I must be capital. Okay.
Yes.
So your schools are on now, or you have still online classes?
You have choice.
It's like that. Still, it's continued.
Yeah.
So you have opted for online class, right?
Yes.
So, but you are in favor of offline class, right?
Yes.
Then why this? I mean, opposite ideas clashing.
Because you said to have to take up the opposite idea and then to get it from their point of view too.
Okay, that's fine. The checklist I have shared with you now, and I'll show you something now. Okay. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Can you see this now? Uh,
Yes.
okay, in this editorial, okay, the author discusses a serious problem facing your generation. What persuasive techniques does he use to win you over? Just read that out. Why today's teens need to shape up is meant for you only. Please read it aloud, my dear.
Picture this situation. You just gotten home from a long day at school. You're not ready to start your homework, so you decide to kick back and watch TV. After seeing ads for greasy french fries, sugary soft drinks, and celery chips, you head to the kitchen to fix yourself an enormous, unhealthy snack with the TV blaring in the background. You then waste hours on the web. If you think there's nothing wrong with this lazy lifestyle, think again. There's today's screens more are the most overweight and it's so small
And inactive. Okay. Hello.
and inactive. active generation in history, largely because of poor eating habits, lack of exercise, and experience of mindless
Exposure.
media.
Exposure
Exposure to
also.
mindless media. If teens don't break these damaging habits, this will increase their risk of developing life-threatening diseases such as diabetes and hypertension.
Okay, this is actually, I mean, an editorial that appeared, a recipe for a disaster. Okay, and why today's teens need to shape up. So it's like, persuasive writing urging the teens the importance of shaping up. Now, what kind of emotional appeal does the author use to convince you of his position? Can you tell me what kind of emotional appeal does he try out here in his persuasive writing?
He tries to use facts.
Okay, more than facts.
He tries to give a situation that the readers relate to.
Okay, good. Now, can you pick out two examples of loaded language that have been boxed? Okay. See, two are given there, right? Mindless media, damaging habits, right? Okay. Find three additional examples just like that. Loaded language.
If you're thinking there's nothing wrong with this lifestyle, think again.
We need, I mean, just like, see, have you seen the boxed words? Mindless media, damaging habits. So we need something like that, which is loaded language means, two heavy words are put together. These are all adjectives, right? Mindless media. What kind of media? Mindless media. It's an adjective. Same way, damaging habits. Damaging is an adjective there, right? So they are asking you to pick out three more additional examples of the same sort. That is the one that you have said is correct. Life threatening diseases, that is correct. Okay, two more.
If teens don't break these damaging habits,
My dear, it's only the nouns with the adjective. See the damaging habits, it's already boxed. We need not use that. Mindless media, it is already boxed. No need of using it. Now, one thing that you have picked out is what was that? Life threatening diseases. See, disease is a noun and life threatening is an adjective. So, both are together, they are placed, but they are actually loaded words. Similarly, can you find out two more of the same kind? Noun and adjective come. You know that, right?
yes.
Immense are they in the last paragraph, my dear? See two more only. Life threatening diseases. That is an example. Okay, then.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Uh, Largely because of poor eating habits and lack of exercise.
That's correct. Poor eating habits. No need of the other one. Poor eating habits. Habit is a noun. Poor eating is the adjective. Poor eating habits. That's correct. Any other? One more you pick
Give
out.
me a sec. Just give me 1 second.
Okay. Okay. So, which are the that whatever you have picked out? Poor eating habits is correct. Mindless
Yes.
media, damaging habits, life threatening diseases. Let's pick out one more.
Mm.
See, in the first line, you see the one with the L.
Picture this situation.
No, the first line in the second paragraph, my dear.
You've gotten home from a long day at school and you're not ready to start your homework, so you decide to kick back and
That's in the
watch TV.
hello. That's in the first paragraph. I'm talking about the second paragraph, the first line. If you think there is nothing wrong with this lazy
Yeah, I said
lifestyle,
that. I
oh, you said that lazy lifestyle. Okay, that is an example.
yes, I said that, and you said I was wrong.
Really, maybe you have read out the whole sentence. It's only this. You see, lifestyle is a noun and lazy is an adjective. So this is the one that is actually loaded. Okay,
Yes.
we should not pick up the whole sentence. We should only pick up that noun and adjective coming together. Okay, okay. Then we'll see you in the
Okay.
next class.
Okay. Bye.